After the address, you're assigned to the 64th Orta. They say it's your regiment now, your unit, your life. 50 boys are crammed in a room. Your meals come from a communal pot called a kazan. It is the soul of your regiment. It signifies your shared roots, suffering, meals, and identity. Training begins, and it's brutal. Drop your musket, beaten. Complain, beaten. Cry, falaka. And after every beating, you're required to kiss the instructor's clothing and thank him. The first time it happens to you, you refuse. You're beaten until you do it. The second time, you do it without being asked. By the third time, you don't feel anything anymore. Next is firearms training. You load powder, tamp, load ball, tamp, prime pan, aim, fire. Again, again, again. The goal is to make 3 shots per minute. European armies fire once per minute, so you have to be better. Your hands blister, then callous, then move automatically. You learn to load and fire without thinking. Years pass in the barracks. Same drills, same beatings, same communal pot. You just turned 17 when the routine becomes unbearable. A Greek boy named Hamid pulls you aside one evening. He's grinning like someone who's already decided to do something stupid. He tells you he found a way out. He tells you that there is a passageway behind the 3rd brick from the corner of the drainage tunnel by the east wall. 3rd brick from the corner. You should say no. Getting caught means death. Still, you say yes. That night, 5 of you crawl through 50 paces of filth and darkness and come out the other side into cool air and empty streets. No drills, no kazan, no instructor. Just Constantinople. Quiet, enormous, and completely indifferent to your existence. For the first time since Serbia, you feel like you belong to yourself. The feeling gets so addictive that you sneak out after dark once a week. It's on one of those escapades that you meet her, Fatima, a young woman who runs a fabric shop. She caught you staring. Then she looks at you. Your posture, hands, and even the way your eyes sweep the street are a dead giveaway. "You're from the barracks," she says. That was not a question. You tense. But she ignores you and goes back to folding cloth. You come by the next week, and the week after. You don't talk much. She doesn't either. Every time you come, you just sit in the corner while she works, and for an hour, you feel like a person. And just like that, it becomes a minor ritual you both perform unknowingly. 3 years after your first encounter with Fatima, you turn 20. You pass your training in that period. You're given a white felt cap, a musket, and salary. You're not a boy anymore. You're a weapon. At the graduation ceremony, you stand in formation in front of the Sultan with 200 men. Men who have become your brothers while your real ones have been forgotten. You stand in perfect lines, perfect silence, all of one mind. And just then, you realize that you haven't dreamed of home in 2 years. Not of your father, nor of your mother, not even of your brothers fishing. And that's when you smile, as you believe that you're finally free. Immediately after the ceremony, you're deployed to Greece. It's the 1800s, and the Greeks are revolting against the empire. Something about independence, freedom, and the usual things people die for. Your commanders call it a rebellion. They also call the shots. So, you march south to Peloponnese with your Orta. Your first real battle is at Tripolitsa against rebel soldiers. By the time you get there, the rebels have already barricaded themselves inside. It doesn't take long before the barricade is breached. Your regiment is first to get through. You move the way you were trained to move. Low, fast, and with no hesitation. You shoot. And then something strange happens. Through the smoke, you hear the rebels screaming at each other. Their language is not Turkish. It sounds familiar. Something old. Something you can't quite place. The feeling lasts maybe 2 seconds. Then your muscle memory takes over. You reload. You advance. You don't stop. When it's over, the city is quiet in an unsettling manner. That night, you dream of your brother Marco looking at you across the water. "Why did you leave?" he says. You wake up shaking. You can't believe it. You haven't thought of him in 5 years, and there's still no time to think about it as you and your Orta begin the march back to Constantinople. During the march, you watch the older Janissaries, the Korbashi, which literally means soup maker. You see their soft hands, jewelry laden with no scars. Most haven't fought in decades. They all stayed at a safe distance, watching the rest of you fight for the empire. But they'll also be the first to claim merits. Some are even from Janissary noble houses, which means their ancestors were the real Janissaries. They, on the other hand, or just playing dress-up. You catch one staring at you. Then he pulls you aside. He asks why you work so hard. He tells you Janissaries run this empire, that fighting is for the young and the stupid. He laughs. You don't. The empire you were built to serve is being quickly eaten by the men who were entrusted to guard it. And now, you're one of them. 2 years later, you marry Fatima. She's the only person who ever stood with you and said nothing. You believe she's your safe place. Once upon a time, you couldn't have gotten married. But the rules have been relaxing for decades now. That's how much your kind has been able to hold the empire hostage.